Hi, welcome to another episode of the Paige Doodle Club. Today we'll be drawing some monsters. Feel free to follow along at home, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't even be afraid to make monster mistakes. Let's get right into it. All right, I'm going to start with two eyeballs that are going to be slightly angled in towards each other like that. So if you picture two eggs sitting on the counter that have kind of fallen into each other to prop each other up. Next, I'm going to make a big swooping line across both of them for the eyelids. Underneath that, I'm going to give him his pupils. I'm leaving small white dots for a reflection. Underneath that, if you would like to, you could give it some irises around his pupils. And then I'm going to give him a big frowny lip. Above that, I'm going to make two slightly rounded, slightly pointed teeth. They could be kind of a candy corn shape. They could be like a shark's fin. They could be as sharp or as rounded off as you want them. You could also make a square tooth across if you wanted, instead of the pointy teeth. Underneath that, actually, let's jump over to the sides of his head. We'll give him some ears next. So that's basically a letter C and a backwards letter C. And then inside of each of those, I'm going to kick my marker out for a line, and then give a little circle or a squiggle there for the lobe of the ear. Next, I'm going to give him a big rounded forehead. I'm going to make this monster bald. And because he's a bald monster and he doesn't have a bunch of fur, he's going to be kind of grumpy that he doesn't have that fur. So I'm going to give him that big brow line. Underneath his face, underneath his mouth rather, I'm going to give him a little beard. So we're going to do a little scribble here. And then starting from right above the ears, I'm going to come in like this with the beard. Same thing on the other side. Join it over. And then from the bottom of his ears, we're going to do this. So that's just a bunch of quick scribbles that the overall shape is a letter U, but you're doing it in a scribbly motion. Next, I'm going to give my monster some feet. So I'm going to make one line straight down the middle. And I'm going to give him very human feet. I'm going to do that. And you guessed it, same exact shape heading the other direction. This is going to be the ball of his foot right there, each foot. And we'll give him some toes. So that's a backwards letter C and a smaller backwards letter C. And maybe we'll just give him 3 toes like that. And a couple tiny little C-shaped scribbles for toenails. And then we'll come across the top of his foot and join it to his leg. And then same thing on the other side. Since I only did 3 toes over here, I'm only going to do 3 toes over there. These are regular letter C's with a toenail. Another letter, that letter C gets interrupted by the previous toe. And one more toe. And then we'll connect that over to the leg. Then I'm going to give my guy goofy long arms that hang at his sides. And then next to that, I'm going to make another line that runs parallel. This line went a little too far, but that's okay. That's one of those monster mistakes. Same thing over here. We're going to go over and down. And then I'm going to give him kind of gorilla hands that like hang on the floor. So to do that, this is kind of a letter L that's got a slight wobble for some knuckles. And this one's going to do the same thing but backwards. And then we'll make a line down and a line down. And then we'll only have to draw 1 or 2 fingers because of the shape that, or the positioning of his hand rather. This one we have room for another one. And then you can give him a thumb right here if you'd like. And I think we'll add another monster or 2 on either side of him. And then if you wanted some lines in his beard, you can add more lines. All right, for our next monster, I'm going to start with a candy corn shape. But at the bottom of the candy corn, I'm going to make it a little bit shaggy. Inside of our candy corn, we're going to make 2 circle eyes leaning in towards each other again. And then a letter U swooping across for the eyelids. And this one we will give sort of rainbow shapes for lower eyelids. And give them some pupils. Hopefully you guys stuck at home have not been receiving this look from your mom much lately. I know my mom used to make a face like that when she was stuck with me too much. I tried to avoid that face whenever possible. All right, for his mouth, I'm going to give him sort of a banana shape. And inside of that, I'm going to do a quick line across and a few lines down to show teeth. And we can give it some angry eyebrows. And then we'll put his hands sticking straight up in the air. And 2 more lines for the rest of his arm. Then for his hand, I'm going to make a letter C. This is going to eventually become his thumb. Same shape on the other side, just make it backwards. On this one, you'll continue that with a regular letter C, and on this one, you'll continue it with a backwards letter C. And then for each finger, you're going to go out, down, back up. Then the next one is going to meet right about here, so we're going to go out, down, back up, and out, down, back up. You'll notice that I kind of, as I went, they start to curve downwards to follow the shape of the hand. And then right here, we're just going to go like that and swoop in. This hand, same thing, just heading the other direction. Up, down, and back up. Up, down, back up. Up, down, back up. And a line coming in. If you wanted to, you could give him claws or fingernails. I think I'm going to leave mine as is. And we'll give this one similar feet to the other one. And then a toe. We'll give this guy wider toes. And we'll make one more monster. We'll make sure this one has longer hair. This one we will give one squinty eye. And one eye wide open. So this one's going to have one eye like that. And the other one is going to look gigantic by comparison because its eyelids are not blocking it. And going to make sort of a cereal shape here. This is kind of looks like shredded wheat, which my dad is the only person I know that eats that cereal, but somehow they keep making it. Maybe you know somebody in your house that eats it. If so, please let me know. I'm going to give this one a party hat. So that's an upside down ice cream cone, quick little triangle, and a few triangles exploding out of that. And then I'm going to make a few diagonal stripes coming down the hat. And I think this is going to be a girl monster, and we're going to give her some pigtails poking out the side. So that's kind of kicking the marker out quickly, and then a swoop down and bring it back up. And then if you want to make a few more lines for the hair, they're going to more or less follow the shape of what's happening around it. And she is very unhappy that she's got to hang out with her brother monsters for so long. I think I'm going to give this one braces too. She looks like a young, annoyed little sister. So I'm going to give her a straight line across and then separate those teeth with a couple more lines down. And then on each of those teeth, draw a small square right near the middle of it. And then connect that with a straight line going across. Now she's got her braces. And I think maybe we'll put her in some socks. Give her some sock feet. So I'm kind of thinking of the same overall shape that we did on these feet over here. Except these are easier because you don't need to make each individual toe. You just have to do some slightly wobbly lines to make the socks a little oversized for her feet. And we'll give them some stripes like those old school socks that some of us grew up with. And I think I might give her one angry eyebrow and one slightly raised eyebrow. And then the only thing that's left to do is make a line in the background to put them in some kind of space. If you really wanted to, you could have them all doing something. Like I'm looking at this guy over here now, and I realized it would have been fun if he was holding up a sign that said something. You guys can add whatever you would like to your doodles to make them your own doodle. All right, so here are a few monsters that we made today. I hope you enjoyed following along at home, and I hope you love how it came out. If you made some mistakes, no big deal. Try again and see how it comes out the next time. I bet you'll be happier next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tune in again for another episode of the Mike Paige Doodle Club. See you then.
All right, kids, now that you've finished your doodles, color them in and then share them with both Mike Paige and Medfield TV. We're going to take those images and we're going to put them all over our station. Can't wait to see what you guys make.